Hey, Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps with Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store, and I'm joined now with the one and only Stephen Espinoza. Stephen, it's great to speak with you. I haven't spoken with you in quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yep, you got plenty of sponsors. Congratulations. That was a long intro.
I'm freelancing now because I'm going back to school. I want to go to law school. So.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well. So, doing a little bit of freelance work, but I know we're pressed for time, so I'd love to hit 3 topics if you don't mind. Firstly, I couldn't not bring up the fact of what's going on currently online between you and Dana White. I'm a little confused because I don't really know where it all began. Are you a bit taken aback by some of the things that's been said?
I'm confused as well. I was minding my own business, and then it's all of a sudden it's F. Espinoza and this. I'm not sure where it comes from. I don't give a lot of thought to Dana. Certainly don't go out of the way. And even when I spoke yesterday about the gates, wasn't really. Everyone took it as a shot at UFC. I was trying to put in perspective how impressive it was, and how big a role boxing is on. That we've got these 3 massive gates in a row, 3 mega events in 1 year. It wasn't, wasn't that. But, we know Dana. It's not surprising. The reality is he's threatened when you tell the truth. I mean, that's clear. I stated facts. We got 3 $20 million gates. Stated the fact that UFC has never done one. His response is to call me names. It's not really an adult conversation when someone states facts and then the response is to call you name. But the reality, it sort of turned into this stupid back and forth where, I'm stating facts. He's in return calling me names. It's like a grade school type debate. I'm not interested in continuing it. It's sort of like it's a battle of wits and he's unarmed and there's really nothing left to say.
I know that he's sort of bouncing off the fact that there's rumors that there may be Showtime may be coming to an end in terms of on the boxing scene. Would you like to respond to that?
I mean, sure. Look, he's been wishing for us to come to an end for a while, and I think
he called your product shit.
Yeah, and I could say a lot of things about his product or his various products, but look, that's that's not my style. Mm-hmm. The reality is, look, he's tried to get in boxing. He's repeatedly failed. I mean, unless you count being an errand boy and driving fighters to the airport, which he did pretty well, I hear you. But, going forward, look, we've heard these rumors for years. We've heard it since 2018 when HBO went out of business. We know where they come from for the most part. We know the motivation behind them. And we just continue to deal with it the same way we always have, which is we continue to keep our head down, do the work, put on the biggest fights in the industry, put on the biggest boxing events, the biggest pay-per-views, the massive combat sports events, and that's our response.
Social media is quite an interesting space because we're not just seeing the fighters going back and forth, but we're seeing the promoters, we're seeing network executives. You've never been shy to sort of clap back or clarify something. Another thing that you made sure that you clarified was this whole Keith Thurman, Gervonta Davis fight. Do you even know where that came from? Because I don't.
No, the interesting thing is, like, it's great that social media gives everybody a voice. Yeah. And it's great that you don't have to own a newspaper or radio station, in order to get your views out there. But it also, the bad thing about that is everyone has a voice, and there is no filter, there is no real, there's no barrier of credibility to get in. So I don't know where it came from. And I just clarify, there's still people who are insisting it's going to happen, but no, it's not going to happen. I don't know where it came from. Tank also clarified, he's like, I'm not even going to fight this year, so yeah. I'm not sure. It's one of those mysteries.
Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. We don't know what's happening there. I know that Errol has activated his rematch clause, but we don't quite know at what weight class. We're hearing that Terence wants it at 147, and obviously Errol, he's even put in his bio on Instagram that now he's at 154. Do you kind of have anything that you can update us on?
I don't like to expose a lot of the behind-the-scenes discussions, but, dates and weights are being discussed. There isn't a lot of certainty yet. We're running out of time this year. It could be next year, could be this year. But I expect, look, the rematch clause has been exercised, so I expect we'll get the details in order and be able to announce that fairly quickly. Okay.
And lastly, Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. Anything going on there? I know I spoke to Mauricio. He said that they obviously are trying. We're hearing some people are trying to outprice themselves and so forth. Is there any update on that?
Well, there's been a lot of interesting things swirling around Deontay. There's that. He felt very clearly that Andy was overpricing himself. I mean, there were opportunities in the Middle East, which, have come and gone. So, the reality is, I know Deontay is sort of out there exploring all his options. The door's always open. And had dinner with him a few weeks ago. Sat with him at fights. The door's open. So, if the Saudi Arabia thing doesn't come to fruition, then whether it's Andy Ruiz or someone there, I think boxing is better with Deontay Wilder active. There's still a lot of interest in him. There's still some mega fights out there for him. So we hope we can do something with him in the near future. Just
as a fight fan, though, Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua.
I still think that's one of the biggest fights in the sport. It doesn't matter. Each of them has lost. It doesn't matter. They're two big personalities. It's an intriguing matchup. I think it's a massive fight.
Stephen, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it as always, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you, maybe even post-fight.
Okay,
Thank you.
Great.
Bye, Fight fans.